Good to see you, everyone. My name is Robby Howell, and I'm making a game. Made it, in fact, and it's going to be on Kickstarter this coming August. And the game in question is called Enclave. Yes, much like Sandy Peterson, a personal idol of mine, while I am best known on the internet for my work with Age of Empires, my first and truest love is tabletop role-playing games. Specifically, my own pet brand of Diceless games played using a system that I have developed over many long years and made many games using. To summarize the game, player characters are mercenaries working for the shadowy worldwide organization called the Enclave. These mercenaries are deployed in small, discrete squads all over the world of Manifold to accomplish missions encompassing everything from the smallest local quibbles to the largest scale political dramas. The world of Manifold is literally infinite, a self-contained multiverse, if you will, and can encompass all manner of genres and tech levels and peoples, a playground for the imaginations of the host and their players. To this end, Enclave is mostly played in one-shots rather than long-form campaigns. Each mission begins with a squad teleporting in from Enclave HQ to their location, accomplishing their task often within a very tight time frame, and then teleporting back to HQ once their objective is fulfilled. Longer form play is fully available within the game, but this one-shot model allows the game to be much easier to schedule. So how can a diceless system have mechanical depth? Well, instead of using any sort of randomization elements, dice, cards, whatever have you, Enclave instead takes a holistic approach that rewards the descriptive skill, acting commitment, and quick thinking of its players. Whenever a call needs to be made in-game, the player's description of their action is the single greatest determinant of their success. Okay, how do you want to approach? The room is again in complete darkness and you have no idea what's on the floor.
So initially sort of touching forward with my boots,
Yep.
Getting a feel for what the floor is before putting weight in. Keeping a hand on the side of the wall next to me.
Well, it's a wise thing that you approach so cautiously because not even 2 yards away from the door, you find a sheer ledge. Swing situations are left to the discretion of the host based on their assessment of the player's commitment to the game, including in particular character acting, as well as what outcome would in general tell a better story. This emphasis on story is also found elsewhere within the game's mechanics. Collaborative storytelling mechanics are a major focus of Enclave, with, for example, the luck stat being handled by players gaining the ability to pitch elements of the story that would behoove them so long as they are congruent with common sense and the narrative that the host is trying to spin.
I'm trying to look for something like a beehive in one of the, in like a branch overhanging over the sort of outer wall of the compound.
Okay, what's your luck?
This would be like single plus.
Single plus? Okay. None in a tree, but there is a paper wasp nest nestled under the corner of the roof.
Like next to me.
Nearby.
Well, I'm still trying to get into the cellar. Did I see a
storm door?
A storm cellar door or anything?
Okay. With 1 plus luck, I don't think I can do that here. This means that while they have the final say, hosts in Enclave have less complete control over what is happening in the game. 85% rather than the 95 or 99% you might see in other games. And to this end, I do not call them game masters. I use the term conduit. They are the connection between the player and the world of the game that they are experiencing. Storytelling arbiters who are meant to root for their players rather than presiding over the game as some untouchable god. Enclave is quick to learn, but very, very difficult to master. The entirety of this rule set that I am publishing is only about 60 pages long, and the game can be comfortably learned by a first-time player in about 6 pages of reading. But once you've achieved a comfortable baseline, you can start to integrate some of the more complex mechanics that the game has to offer, piece by piece, based on your own comfort and the preferences and interests of your playgroup. Some of the more complicated mechanics the game has to offer include things like energy work, a system by which any single supernatural power a character has can be slightly adjusted or adapted to fit a new or unusual situation based on how the player describes their use of that supernatural power in the moment.
I'm going to take both of my hands, well energy in between my fingertips, beginning to prep Thunderclap. Normally just cone of force, big stun, knocko backo.
Yeah.
But instead of a clap, what I'm going to do is shoot a line just straight through it. Very precise and sort of cavitated out.
Okay, I see. So it's less a thunderclap and more a thunder chop. As you might expect from a Diceless system, Enclave is very flexible in how it can be played, and yet consequences are still present in the game. Player characters are not indestructible demigods, though they do have great power available to them, and teamwork is generally their greatest asset when conducting the many dangerous missions they are sent on. And beyond these advanced mechanics, as well as 6 classes and a good amount of original pre-constructed content, the Enclave rule set is full of tips and advice to players and conduits alike that is largely transferable to other games or systems that you might also play. In addition, the rule set features a battery of original art made by the exceptionally talented and experienced Greg Taylor. So that's Enclave in a nutshell. It's a game that means an awful lot to me that I have spent the past 8 years of my life developing, and I thank you for taking the time to listen to me talk about it. Once again, the campaign on Kickstarter will be launching August 8th, running until September 8th. But until then, my name is Robby Howell. Big thanks to Lee Haber for helping me out with this video. Get excited for Enclave, friends. And ciao for now.